Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. If you are here joining us on another Vivacity Esports broadcast, I am the head caster, host, current broadcast head for Vivacity Esports Unchanged, and I'm here to bring you another amazing Masters Division matchup for our flagship Vivacity roster as they face off today against Iliad Artemis, a team from an org that I would call friends of mine. I've worked with Iliad on a few events in the past. They are good people in my personal opinion. not to be biased at all. But today, you know what? I'm hoping that we will be able to beat the Iliad Artemis roster. So let's see what Vivacity can do heading into this matchup today. I say should be quite interesting. Recap for anyone so far on the season. Vivacity are currently 3-1, and the only team they did lose to, unfortunately, did disband. Iliad Artemis currently 1-1 on season, so Vivacity hoping to take the ascension in this season. And wow, the team's got through the initial pick and ban phase super fast while I was checking that all of my audio levels and everything were functioning correctly. Do apologize, it is 2 o'clock in the morning and I have spent the whole day moving and setting things up because I've just moved into my new place. But yes, we are live, we are good to go, and I'm now just waiting for the lineup to get finalized so that I can see what's going on, figure out what our picks and bans are. Because at the moment, I'm entirely unaware of everything that is going on. Just gonna pretend that I'm not incredibly disorientated at the moment. I was so surprised that the teams got through the pick and ban phase, map pick and ban phase, so fast. They caught me off guard. They knew what they were doing. And they did it on purpose. They're trying to make me look bad because I've moved. They knew I would be distracted. And now they're taking their time. Pick and ban phase so fast, but then they take their time on finalizing matchups. Okay. Okay, there we go. I have the first map pick in. Oh yo, CK. Thank you for the sub, my guy. Huge. You're the new social media manager, right? Respect. Shout out. Thanks for that. Much appreciated. Love to see it. First map pick, Busan. Sorry. I apologize. I will lock in eventually. it will become much more professional. Right. So first map, Busan, and first bans, I think, went in this order. Now I don't swear by it. These are the bans, but I still don't understand the Faceit system, and they don't just tell me who banned what, outright. So it's a Zarya and a Lucio ban. Those heroes aren't getting played, but I don't hold me up my word for who banned what. We are about to get into the game. It is Busan. It is Mecha base as well to start off with. I will throw us into that map. Alright, I'm still getting used to my new setup layout. Hello. Okay, there we go. Wow. I love Mecha Base. Such a pretty map. Okay, so standard Malga comp coming out from Vivacity. Sure, both teams will be TPing out and meeting on the high ground. There's a Bastion Sig comp from Iliad Artemis. Bloomfy low, Marduk's low already. Amadou also low. Vivacity definitely taking more of the space in this first fight. Makoto on the Vendetta. As we see all of Iliad Artemis, I mean, Floofy a little bit late, but all of Iliad Artemis making the rotation away. It's going to be a good game of Ring Around the Rosie, as Axe is forced dangerously low, and now the re-engage coming in from Artemis as they try to meet them. It's going to be, like I said, just a lot of poke, a lot of poke here right now. Artemis clearly expecting the ball comp. Floomfy with that first pick onto Temper, who was trying to build that railgun charge enough to get that first pick. But yeah, poke versus brawl, and we all know if brawl cannot close the distance, it is the poke comp that wins. And Iliad Artemis showing a prime example of that right there. Pain Care. Force low, Amadou ulting to keep themselves alive, getting that extra little bit of armor health right there. Huge play from the Bastion, as their team did not have the capability to keep them alive, but actually are not able to space themselves far enough away. Now the orbital cannon coming out. Baron able to take down Amadou, but Amadou did take down Makoto, and there was another kill onto Axe early on in that fight as well. So both tanks down. Morlock drops. Kitsune Rush from Mardox. Drop onto point Pain Care on the May. Popping off right now for Iliad Artemis. Once again, they win the fight, and no flip from Vivacity means that Iliad Artemis are just locking it out right now. There is the ult from Temper on the off angle, trying to force the damage out, but ults in retaliation from Iliad Artemis proving to be more effective. Absolutely shut them down. Makoto is on point, nearly gets the flip, does end up getting dropped once Iliad Artemis roster are able to rotate back in. Now, no one left. Don't think anyone's going to have a touch, not with Morlock dying. Temper does manage to get the rollout and get the overtime wick burning in their favor, but now all of Artemis start to collapse on them, as Fern also dead on the off angle. Axe on point, Makoto there to join them, but I don't think either of them will be lasting long. There is the Malga ult, the Bastion zoning ult on point as well, though. Destroys it. Makoto just entirely zoned out by the Artemis roster, and there goes the first point. Okay, heading downtown now. I'm expecting more of the same, although Amadou now on the Emre instead of the Bastion, but I'm expecting more of the same from Artemis. I mean, they're just going to inevitably try and play as far away and just zone the brawl comp of Vivacity out. Just keep them poked, keep them entirely disengaged as much as possible. Axe here immediately gets slammed by Axe. And Temper manages to take down Mardox. Makoto did die to Pain Care on that like battle around point in the meantime, but Temper and Axe taking down two more members of the Iliad Artemis roster should mean that Vivacity end up locking the point down, and they do just that. But Axe on this high ground aggressively has rotated all the way in to the room. Pain Care in the background getting poked a little bit, having to rotate. I'm sure they're going to try and harass around point once again shortly. There we go. They've got the engage on 2 point to try and distract away. Temper opting on the venture to go and deal with them, while Makoto tries to harass Amadou and Mardox off that high ground. Axe, aggressive engage, does take down Axure, and now Vivacity coming in. Makoto as well with them there to take down Floomfi. Amadou still up on that high ground, but not really getting much util out of that so far. As now we see Vivacity able to lock down the point and win another fight. Makoto opting to try and harass Mardox, who gets... Ooh! The Kiriko with some nice plays there. Axe trades it for Floomfi. Temper trades out Amadou as well. So 2 for 1 so far. The slam doesn't land onto Axure, but they are still low. Post bomb hits onto Axe, but the Kitsune Rush from Fern keeps them alive as Temper takes down Axure. You see the Vivacity roster now trying to take a bit more space here as they're ticking ever closer to winning this objective. Locking it down around point right now as we see the ult from Amadou come out to try and zone Axe away. Orbital Cannon, though, gives enough damage as Temper fights Mordox. There is a Pharah on point, but Axe zoning them does manage to lock them down as well. Floomfi dies. Axure got the ult trade onto Morlock, but is left on this high ground alone. Does have to deal with Temper coming up to harass them, and no one from Artemis able to touch that time. Means that for this map it will be 1 apiece here. So, third and final point for these teams. As we head now over to Temple. Both teams managing to win 100-0 on those first 2 points, by the way. So, interesting to see who's going to actually pull this map out, as both teams absolutely shutting it down on their preferred map so far. Paincare, though, over onto the Pharah at the end of that map, trying to take advantage of the lack of hit scan that Vivacity were running. Amadou also now on the Sojourn as they're wrapping around 2 point. Looks like the whole of Iliad Artemis is playing point side, while drum side has been taken by Vivacity. The engage aggressively onto Axure. Suzu already used. Axe trying to get more aggressive. Axure rotating away from his team. Is surely going to get caught out here. Yes, but Amadou takes down Fern in the meantime. So a tank for a flex support. No tank presence means Vivacity should be able to rotate onto point, but Axe is getting pushed low, and Mardox taking down Makoto. Morlock does trade it for a kill onto Paincare, but once again, it is even playing field, and Axure on the Diva will be back soon. Morlock and Fern back in this fight, able to keep the Vivacity roster alive as they're playing up around point. Paincare, though, on the Pharah, spamming in from the off angle onto Axe, who is heavily pressured. Uses that Malga shout to get themselves into the fight. Amadou low. Mardox TP'd back on to keep them alive, and Paincare now has drum side control. Rotating around is going to get harassed. Makoto trying to get onto them as Axe now rotates to try and deny drum and takes him out before Paincare can get that mega health pack on drum side. Now Vivacity locking in on the re-engage. Amadou with the early overclock here in a fight that they looked like they were losing, but that does give a lot of zoning to Iliad Artemis, who are now trying to force Axe out. Fern taken down by Axure. That's huge. Amadou kept alive as well. Morlock dies as they go to pop the ult, so that's a denial, and now the Kitsune Rush from Mardox should be enough for Iliad Artemis to end up winning this fight. Temper just trying to stall out for a little bit more time here. So over 60% captured for Vivacity, but that Morlock ult denial there is going to be pretty painful for them, as they're now going to run into Axure, who will have the bomb for that likely remake, and Penker and Floonfi with their ults. There's the early barrage. Amadou helping take down Axe there off the back of the damage from Penker. Actually then aggressing onto Morlock. So Iliad Artemis trying to pin this Vivacity roster back. Makoto dies as well. Vivacity need to make sure they don't stagger any harder as Axe dangerously low there. Nearly 4 ults online for our Vivacity roster. But there are 2 ults available. There's the early Kitsune from Fern going cross point. The Wuyong ult comes out onto Axe. Axe locks them in the room. There's the bomb for the remake. Temper takes down Floonfi but is immediately traded by Amadou. Vivacity now looking to try and fight around point. Makoto gets back onto Amadou. Now has Floonfi to deal with. Penker coming back in as well. They need to take Axe off of point. Marduk's able to keep their diva alive. There's the ult from Makoto on the Vendetta. Gets Axe low. There's the D-Mech. Temper on the Tracer here. As Vivacity did manage to flip the point back as well. Penker off on this angle harassing. Here's the overclock though from Amadou. Floonfi are taking down Makoto, and now Amadou takes down Morlock. They're going to try and take down Axe as well. They do with the help of Marduk's. And then take the point back as well. So we're seemingly last fight territory for the Vivacity roster. No swaps from anyone yet. Temper gets Marduk's dangerously low, but then has to recall to escape with their life. Now Vivacity back with them. Marduk's does have the Kitsune rush that I assume will get thrown in once the engagement is confirmed. Axe is on the diva now, so should be able to deal with Penker a little bit easier. There's the Kitsune rush. So expecting the engage, it's countered by the orbital cannon by Morlock. Extra damage, extra healing for their team. Penker is low, but Floonfi able to keep them alive. Amadou low as well, helped out by Marduk's. Marduk's using the Suzu there to deny Temper that pick in the backline. There's the early barrage, but Morlock takes it down after help from Axe to eat that damage up. Marduk's does trade out onto Temper, but Axe gets D-Mech, so no tank presence online for Iliad Artemis' Vivacity now flip map with 99%. Floonfi does have their ult online. It's going to have to try and keep themselves alive. There's the Kitsune rush. There's the Wuyong ult from Floonfi as they rush on to the point. They are low. They are now taken out. Doomfist online. Bomb for the zoning. Marduk's is 1 HP, taken down by Makoto. The Doomfist of Axe is on point now, but the whole of Vivacity locking in on them to take them down. And that should be Vivacity taking the first map. And it is that indeed. So after losing the first point by 100 to 0, Vivacity able to come back and pull the map win out. Amadou's Bastion getting a play of the game in there though. But Vivacity will not be too bothered by that in the slightest. The map win ultimately what will mean much more to the team, and that's a nice way to start the series and hopefully have Vivacity pull ever closer to getting that 4-1 and keeping their top spot so far in Masters Division. I know we are early on in the season, but it's still nice to see. Just waiting on, once again, the first map pick from Artemis, who also got the first ban. I can confirm that all the bans and picks are in already, and we will be heading to Blizzard World once again. I feel like a lot of teams picking Blizzard World against Vivacity. A map I guess they feel they can deny Vivacity's brawl on. And I will also say, I do believe I saw a Vendetta ban just before we got into the lineup finalization. And that will have also come from Iliad Artemis. I wonder what the response from Vivacity was before they head into this next map. And I will throw us to our hero bands as soon as I can confirm we are in the next map and confirm what that second ban is. But yes, next map will be Blizzard World. Always love it when the Vivacity roster can get a quick 1-0 to start the season, or to start the series, sorry. And Busan, an interesting map pick. It was Iliad Artemis who had that first map pick. But yeah, it definitely interesting to have gone with that. I mean, they had a plan and it worked on first point. It just didn't work anywhere else. Vivacity able to deal with their kind of Sigma rotations and just shut them down. So we love to see that. Can confirm the hero bans are a Vendetta from Iliad Artemis, and then a Diva in retaliation from Vivacity. Seems like both of these teams very much have some scouting on each other, because these pick and ban phases are going very quickly, which I can only assume is in response to a game plan automatically being set out by both of these teams. Both of these teams, Iliad and Vivacity, for this Artemis and the Vivacity roster, have a lot of people helping out in the background, making sure these teams get all of the coaching, scouting, analysis, everything like that they need to survive a season in Masters Division. Artemis, I know, have been here for a couple seasons now. Vivacity here for the first time and looking strong as they do it. Just waiting for all of the players to get in to the match room, and then we will be underway. So once again, do just bear with us while I wait for these teams. I mean, the fact that the Mauga specialist team are doing this well is I don't want to say surprising, but at the same time, it is a little bit surprising that they are doing this well. I do believe it will be Vivacity defending first. And it's the blue team, and that is correct. So, let's get into the game and see if Vivacity have worked out some more things to do on Blizzard World. Because, I mean, they won, I believe, the last time we saw them on Blizzard World, but it was very, very close. And then the first time we ever saw them on Blizzard World, it was full hold and then a stomp on the offense, where they got absolutely blown out, unfortunately. So I'm sure this is a map the team will have been working on. We see Domina coming out from Axe, so the new tank. Some slightly different play style, I'm sure, for our Mauga specialist to have to learn. Maverick on the Hazard, my British compatriot. I know the Scots hate when you say that, but they are still British nonetheless. It's Temper trying to poke out Iliad Artemis, just setting themselves up for this dive. I mean, they do have Pain Care on the Tracer, trying to wrap around. Amadou mirrored on the Sojourn. Ooh, and there we go. Amadou collapsing onto Temper. Amadou then takes down Morlock as well. And Iliad Artemis looking to absolutely stomp here on the attack just no real denial of that initial space from Vivacity. Just allowed Artemis to set themselves up with the comfortable angles that they wanted, and as soon as they've done that, just knocked apart the Vivacity roster. So now heading on to second point here on Blizzard Road. Artemis just starting to move the bot up as Vivacity gradually taking the space and locking themselves in. Now trying to take a fight in this room. Hazard has locked them in here. Does manage to take down Fern. Axe trades it out immediately, so flex support for a tank. Dangerous trade, and then with Axe dropping as well, because there's no flex support online, no healing. Amadou pumping out the damage right now for the Artemis roster. Looking very dangerous here on the Sojourn. Getting harassed a little bit, but able to zone out. Has the overclock online, finds Makoto, who's currently on the Tracer, is now trying to pump damage into everyone else, but Axe takes down Maverick there. So I'm sure a re-engage will be coming out from Vivacity. There's the Kitsune rush. Fern though finds Floomfi. They take down Axe. Pulse Bomb low. Temper does trade onto Amadou. Temper still on the Torbjorn. Takes down Mardox as well, and does, with just 0.21 meters left, manage to lock down second point. They will have to be careful to make sure there is no Tracer back cap from Painkare, who does have the Pulse Bomb still available. Axe nearly has the Mauka cage online. He's getting pumped out a lot, but Temper on the Torb, my natural POV. The Short King absolutely popping off right now. Like I say, Torb does a little bit of everything well, and he's certainly proving that right here. We see Cart slowly pushing itself back away from the danger zone. Fight on point. There's a Kitsune rush. It's matched by Mav's ult, but Axe locked them in the cage and took them down, as well as Painkare. Temper then finds Floomfi before they can escape. TP out from Mardox to escape with Amadou, but Vivacity finally eating away at the Iliad Artemis time bank here. Painkare with a swap back to the far that we've seen from them previously. Fern having to be careful there as they're forced out. Makoto looking to wrap around. Amadou taking a little bit of poke damage there as Mav is trying to lock in on point. TP from Mardox to meet up with Amadou and Floomfi is Maverick dangerously low, and Axe rotating around to take them down, following up on the damage from the rest of his team there. So still eating away at this time bank. 3 ults online for Vivacity. Amadou though finally getting that opening pick once again. Does manage to find Makoto. So the Tracer is down, and here is the overclock to continue the aggression. Everyone from Vivacity hiding away. There's the Torb as well. Lacoum online. Temper does find Maverick. Rally comes out. Temper takes down Painkare as well, and Amadou beat out now from Floomfi. Late gets stunned by the Brig Rally. Mardox is locked in. No one in TP range to escape, and Temper, I believe, just got a 5k. So off the back of the Molten Core, the Torbjorn locking it down here for the Vivacity roster. Fern with the Kitsune rush online. Makoto did pop the Pulse Bomb in that fight as well. Axe should be getting close to building up this cage. Temper's turret is taken down, and Amadou now trying to aggress onto them. Suzu used early. People are low. Mardox takes down Morlock and Temper. Fern got the Kitsune rush off, but it didn't get much util out. Axe does have the cage if he's able to get in and contest on point. Contest comes out from Makoto in time as Axe took down Paincare. The rest of Iliad Artemis had been taken down as well, and just by the skin of their teeth, Vivacity holding on once more, and now with just under 30 seconds on the time bank, Axe gonna look to try and lock someone in this cage. Is low. Does have to be careful that they don't get caught out. Does have to be aware how close Artemis are, but Artemis have to try and lock down the point. Fern with the nice Suzu denies Maverick's ult. They do die, but Temper trades it for that kill onto them. 10 seconds left. Mardox takes down Morlock and Temper. Axe and Makoto gonna have to try and lock down point. TP out from Mardox. Does mean they are low, but Paincare coming back on that off angle. Makoto forced to recall. Axe runs out. The Kitsune rush comes on. Makoto touches once more, and now the cage comes out. Locks him down, but it's immediately destroyed, and the beat comes out from Floomfi. Vivacity not quite using their ult to their maximum potential there, allowing Iliad Artemis to regroup, not locking down that fight win after they got Maverick so low. Too worried about the point, I think, a little bit there, and now third point. Axe swapping over to the Zarya hilariously as Maverick swaps to the Malga, so we had the potential for the Malga mirror, but not here. Overclock used early from Amadou. Does manage to take down Temper here. Rotating back around. Now trying to get some damage. Suzu used as Axe had got them low. Asher, or Maverick, sorry. Forced back. Maverick dropped to Axe. Recall used by Makoto keeps them up. As Amadou now getting forced back. Suzu used on them once again, keeping them alive in a dangerous position. Mardox doing their best to keep the hit scan up for Artemis. They are just leading Temper on the ult economy here. Re-engage onto Axe. Second bubble forced out. Makoto takes down Amadou this time, and Paincare drops to Temper. Mardox now stuck in the fight. Gets taken down. Floomfi and Maverick, who is swapped back to the hazard, get taken down, and that does mean that Vivacity have set themselves up with a golden box of victory. Not quite as far away from the endpoint as they would have liked, particularly heading in to that last kind of fight on second point. It was one long drawn out fight, but it was still one last fight that they had on second where they got very, very close to holding. But they did, like I said, they did set up a golden box of victory. It is. Shall we head over just inside? Here we go. It's going to be right here on third point. We'll watch the golden box of victory suddenly appear. There we go. Right there. That's as far as the cart got, and that is now as far as Vivacity need to get themselves to be able to hold out on Blizzard World and get the map win. But at the same time, Iliad Artemis now know exactly how far they cannot let Vivacity push, you know, exactly how far they can go. Likely bend but don't break situation if they end up giving up first point here at all. Vivacity, though, rolling out once more on the Malga comp, are going to be harassed by the Paincare Bara, which is always annoying for a Brawl comp to have to try and deal with. Coming back to some of the meta from last season, as Axe runs all the way through before rotating back to high ground. Amadou, though, once again with the opening pick, takes down Fern and looks to pummel into Axe, who does manage to take down Maverick. So a nice little exit frag there, I guess, from Vivacity. Shouldn't stay in this fight too much longer though, as they do now opt to reset. But Maverick will have to make their way back to from spawn, which means they potentially won't be entirely set up. No, never mind. They are set up for Vivacity can roll out. Axe now running it down onto the high ground to try and zone Amadou out. Manages to do so, but does take a bit of a pummeling in doing so. He's now going to get slid on from Amadou, who does drop to Fern though. So once again, bit of a trade here from Vivacity, but they're down their tank, so they're not going to be able to push off the back of it. Going to see how they can push here. Vivacity trying to take space, but Painkare again. It's Iliad Artemis getting that opening pick as the Pharah able to find the Tracer. Axe now forced low, has to run out, and the overclock from Amadou means the aggression once more from Iliad Artemis, forcing Vivacity back as Painkare takes down Axe. Makoto drops as well. Artemis looking confident here on the defense, just not letting Vivacity get any more than one kill and anchoring it down, just pumping that damage in. Axe forced to swap over to the Zarya as Makoto is now on the Reaper as well, off of that Tracer. Not feeling like there's anyone to dive onto. Early Kitsune rush. Axe takes down Painkare. Temper locked in this room though with Floomfi and Amadou. Mav takes down Axe. Fern trades it for a kill onto Amadou. Makoto takes down Maverick. Vivacity running it down, take down Mardox as well, and Floomfi. So that is a team kill. Painkare will be back, but not before Vivacity can start to get some ticks on the objective. And now the whole roster is back. Will Artemis opt to come in for the recontest? They do have the ult from Maverick and Painkare. Overclock though early from Temper. Beat used from Floomfi, but Painkare still drops before they can get the barrage off. There's the ult from Maverick. Does manage to take down Temper. Amadou finds Fern as well before Floomfi takes down Morlock. Oh, Makoto drops to Amadou as well, and Artemis giving up 2 ticks, but able to lock it down on the objective, and now have their full team set up. Vivacity don't have any ults yet online and do have to get 2 point pretty sharp here. Coming down to the last 10 seconds. Makoto up on the high ground trying to zone out, but forced away by Painkare and Amadou. Axe locked on point. Temper does have the Tracer pick to be able to get on 2 point. Floofy in range to mark them. Now Painkare coming back. Axe rotating 2 point now. Does take down Maverick and Floomfi with the help of that Death Blossom from Makoto, and no one else able to touch for the Artemis roster. Does mean Vivacity finally, as we get into overtime, do cap that point, but they left it very, very late there. So now we wait to see what Vivacity can do. Just pushing their way through point here. Axe getting forced out. Has that bubble back up in time. And the Grav does lock down Amadou. Trades Morlock for it as Axe is now low as well. Fern trying their best to keep them alive, but the wall from Maverick comes out in time to zone them out. Painkare took down Makoto as well. Mav does drop. Fern can't get the TP out. So Artemis do lock it down, and Mardox with a nice kunai headshot off the back of some damage from Painkare take down Temper. Now Mav, Mardox and Painkare with their ults online. Floomfi very close to theirs as well. Burn, ooh, early barrage takes down Axe as they try to touch point. Mav collapsing onto Fern as well. Temper got caught, I think, by the edge of that barrage. So a quick team fight win off the back of just one of those ults. from Iliad Artemis. Mav still has theirs online, and now both supports for Artemis have theirs as well. Fern and Temper, the only ones with ults online quite yet. Morlock will be close to theirs, as Makoto has now come out on the Echo as well. Kitsune Rush from Fern on point. Morlock drops though just before they get the beat online. Mav is low, locked in that room. Amadou finds Makoto. Temper finds Amadou though. Floomfy does rotate back around to take them down, and now Vivacity trying to eke point presence out, but Painkare on the Pharaoh with both their supports alive, pummeling damage down onto anyone from Vivacity who wants to try and take the objective. Axe pumped full of damage once again, and now Mav and the rest of the team are back. Here's the beat engage. Gets caught out by Mavericks. Oh, and Fern and Morlock, both supports down for Vivacity, means it's going to be a very tough fight. Axe, the only one on point, does get the overtime wick to burn down, but now Makoto drops, and it's just Temper left alive, and they're not going to be able to touch in time. So Vivacity do end up losing on Blizzard World, meaning Iliad Artemis have brought it back to a 1-all on the series. Temper though with the play of the game. There's 2, there's 3. Here comes the 4th with that stun off the back of the beat, and there was number 5, and I did think that was going to be enough to win it possibly for Vivacity, but it just didn't quite end up working out. So we will head to a map 3 with the series tied 1-1. Will now be Vivacity's first map pick of the series, though, as they'll be hoping to set themselves up with a potential game point. They have opted to take us to a flashpoint map. Oh, sorry, not a flashpoint map. That's another escort, actually, isn't it? No, Runasapi. I was right. It is flashpoint. Sorry, I was thinking Rialto. Runasapi. There you go. No, not flashpoint. Not flashpoint. Not clash. Push map. Can you tell I took a break from this game? It's getting bad. I'm getting slow in my old age. Waiting for them to pick sides. And then waiting to see who our first ban is. So it is Vivacity with the first ban pick. Be interesting to see who they end up rolling with as we head to Runasapi. Do believe one of the Vivacity roster's favourite maps. I think so far in the season they're undefeated on Runasapi, if I'm remembering correctly. So definitely understandable why they have picked it. Still waiting on the ban. Vivacity taking all of the time available to them to come to this decision. Sure, having a discussion with their coaches. Or maybe they didn't have a ban in place. I don't know. I'm gonna hope that was planned. But Roadhog, I mean, denying the Mauga tank ban, I guess. But they banned Roadhog. We're heading to Runasapi. It is a push map. And Roadhog is banned. I'm I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust that they had a plan. I'm going to assume... But, oh, never mind. We're about to get into the map, and then the map reset. It's not telling me what's happening right now. Bear with me. I'm gonna throw us to a quick little break. Okay, never mind. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, never mind. We're all good. Okay. I've got my... Okay, I guess there was a... Must have been a lineup issue. Must have been a lineup issue. But it does give me time to talk about the bans. Once again, Roadhog from Vivacity. I'm assuming denying the tank ban, not allowing Malga to get banned. But it is met with a venture ban from Iliad Artemis. I'm sure that is to try and deny Temper, who likes to pull that out as a backup pick from time to time. We are now just waiting for our teams to get in to the map. And then Vivacity, hopefully a good map for it. I mean, normally it is a good map. I said so far in the season, they have won on this map every time. So I will be hoping that they can do so once again. Thank you very much, Blue Jay. We respect it. Thank you everyone for joining us as well. Anyone who does opt to watch these official Vivacity Esports broadcasts, do please follow us on all of our socials. I know CK will be happy for me shouting that one out, our new social media manager. So yeah, do follow us on all of our socials. We have YouTube, where we upload all of the VODs of these matches for anyone that wants to go and check them out in their own time. We have our Twitter, where we'll keep you up to date on everything related to the org, whether that be matches for the Masters Division team, any potential streamed matches in the future for any of our lower division teams, and all of our roster reveals and the like will all be on our Twitter. I will say, go check that out. Maybe some interesting stuff coming up soon on there as well. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, do give us a follow. And I do believe soon, TBD, not yet, but soon, we will have a fully functioning website and a TikTok once we get around to having someone that will edit some of these clips together. So do remember to give us a follow on everything, and do give us a follow here as well if you are a new viewer. Drop us a follow so that you are notified every time we go live, which will be every time our Masters Division team plays, and potentially some other matches in the future from some of our other rosters. Am I crazy, or is this not Vivacity that I'm on right now? Hold on. Sorry. I think the map got changed. It did. The map got changed. Apologies. I've just realised we're on Atlas. It's a flashpoint. Apologies. Not entirely sure how that just happened. I guess that's what the little reset was for. The Bastion Sigma comp, though, once again, from Iliad Artemis. They're able to run down Fern and Axe. Axe coming out on the Zarya to start off with on this map. Yeah, there was a hog ban. But now I'm surprised because they didn't save the hog ban for potentially Runasapi now. Now the swap from Axe on to the Mauga is Temper still rolling out on the Emre here. Sorry, I'm just confused. I didn't realize we were in a different map. Morlock though with that first pick onto Flume Feet. It's immediately traded by Axure on to Morlock. Baron taking down Amadou means that Vivacity able to at least somewhat win this fight and get that point presence that they needed. Now the slam comes in onto Axure. Grasp used to keep himself alive. Kitsune rush from Mardox, but they're taken down immediately by Makoto and Axe. Finding Axure. Painkare on the May. Drops Amadou. Drops to point and drops from the fight. So Vivacity with a fight win once more. Lots of ults online from both teams, so I imagine this next fight is going to look a little bit chaotic. Do have Temper with their early Kitsune rush, so early aggression from Vivacity. May a wall came out and back goes Iliad Artemis. No one in range to touch. Makoto just making sure of that with their ult. Axe locked in a room with that May wall does mean that they drop. Morlock does find Mardox. Makoto finds Flume Feet, but Painkare took down Morlock as well in the middle of that. And takes down Makoto. Actually finding Fern, so Temper the last alive does opt to just somewhat take one for the team there. And go with the reset. As we see Axe now rotating to the next flashpoint, but that is first point capture for our Vivacity roster. We'll be hoping that they can do more of the same heading into this next point. Still a lot of votes online. Axe, Morlock, and Temper for Vivacity here. Has to deal with Amadou on the off angle. There's the Mauga ult out. It's immediately matched by a Blizzard. And broken. Amadou finds Morlock, so trade for the teams. Flume Feet and Morlock, both main supports down. Temper with his ult floating up onto the high ground. Has to be careful. Does get a couple members of Artemis low and finally takes down Amadou. Then takes down Painkare. Axe cleans up the damage onto Axure. And the supports for Vivacity or for Iliad Artemis able to escape with their lives. All three ults that were online used there by Vivacity. Painkare and Axure did use theirs in retaliation. But it will now be 3 ults online for Artemis. And here it is, the first one from Amadou. The overclock online takes down Fern, who had tried to go aggressive to match them. Morlock finds Mardox, but Axure took them down. Makoto trades it onto Amadou, but Axe already had been forced low. So Artemis are able to take that fight. Temper gets Painkare low. Ice block is used. Temper stalling the point out for finally losing a life. Morlock in time to stall the point out even further. Meaning Vivacity are with 88% surely in last fight territory for this second point on Atlas. But now this pokey slight bunker comp from Artemis does have the space online. Fern with the Kitsune rush though will likely be matched by Mardox. The engage from Makoto gets somewhat zoned out. There's the early aggression though. Fern does hit that Kitsune Rush, and there is none. Now finally Mardox pops theirs. Axe does drop at Makoto, finding 2 picks, finding 3 picks. Makoto opening up the fight here. Takes down Painkare, does have the Mayo online. Floonfi flies in, but no one able to sustain. So once again, Vivacity able to take the objective here. That's just what we like to see. Didn't even need to use Makoto's ult there either. So with Temper, Axe and Morlock close to their ults, Vivacity will have 4 online heading into this next fight. Do have to be careful because Painkare has the Blizzard online. There it is. Morlock takes down Mardox. Makoto using their ult to try and zone, but Axe did drop. They're able to take down Floonfi though, and then the beat re-engage from Morlock allows Vivacity to stay aggressive. They get a couple more kills, but respawns coming in now. Amadou takes down Temper. Vivacity do get the first point capture, but Mardox takes down Makoto as well. Axe is back with the cage. Amadou now rotating around on 2 point. Axe finds Floonfi, does have Fern in there with them, but both supports for Vivacity do end up dropping. Axe runs across point to try and deny the cap, but then does have to reset in the end. And now, once again, it is Iliad Artemis able to take the fight and flip the point. Vivacity, though, still have Axe and Temper's ults online here and close to the Kitsune Rush from Fern. There's the engage. It's Amadou with the first ult. Cage out now from Axe. It's met with the Graphitic Flux. Floonfi boops Morlock off the point. Axe re-engage onto Painkare. Immediately traded out by Axure, and Mardox takes down Makoto. So Fern and Temper still with their ults online. Mardox and Floonfi will have theirs in this next fight, and I'm sure Painkare will build theirs up as well. Vivacity with one last chance to try and take this point. Maybe just try and force some ults out though. Ready for the next objective. Amadou taking the long rotation with Floonfi into this backline. Kitsune Rush from Mardox. It is matched by Fern. Axe did take down Painkare, so they have the point. Ascension beat now from Floonfi to keep Axure alive as Makoto tries to get in on the backline, but Temper still not used that ult and taken out. Amadou does get traded though by Morlock and Axe. Axure harassing on the high ground as Vivacity trying to win this long stalled out fight. Axure does get taken down. Floonfi drops to Makoto, and Mardox drops to the Vivacity roster as well, as they're finally able to take the point back. It is 99% in favor, but Painkare, the only one with an ult online for Artemis. Is Vivacity now up over 50%. Still have Axe's ult online, as well as a beat from Morlock and Makoto's ult for that zoning potential. Here is the ult from Temper. It's met with a Blizzard. Temper does get frozen. Beat was used. Makoto taking down 2. That's Mardox and Axure out of the fight. They need to take down Painkare now on point. They managed to do just that. And now it's just Floonfi trying to touch. But they're going to die, I think, before anyone will get the overtime wick burnt down. And Vivacity with a confident 3-0 there on Atlas. Themselves the ascendancy here in the series once again. Pull it to a map decider. Here is that huge ult play from Makoto in the middle of that Blizzard. Pulls up 2 kills there on Axure and Mardox. Huge play from the Flex DPS for Vivacity. What a way to win that fight there, as we now head in to what could potentially be our final map. Of the series. Ooh, and the map and pick phase comes out very quickly once again, while I am caught lacking, staring at my screen, at one of my other screens, should I say, trying to figure out some things. But we do have our fourth map pick in, just waiting for the lineups to get finalized, and then I can have a look at the map and the bands. But huge job, well done by our Vivacity roster, as they are able to pull out the map win and take themselves to a potential series clinching map 4. Whew, I wouldn't mind a gentleman's sweep, a 3-1. Give me time to go to bed at a somewhat reasonable time, as it is already 3 o'clock in the morning for me. But yeah, huge place there. There we go. We get in to the game. So I can now see we are heading to Esperanza. So back now to a push map for our map 4. And our bands, unsurprisingly, Mauga from Iliad Artemis, but it's matched this time by a Faraban from Vivacity. Well, here we go. Potential series deciding map. No Mauga, no Farah. 2 heroes that have been hugely influential for both of these rosters so far. As we see Amadou once again on the Sojourn, but this time it's Temper on the Bastion. Roadhog from I'm Mushroom. So there's that Roadhog player for the Roadhog band that came out earlier. Temper locking themselves in a room. Amadou does take them out and slides to escape before Morlock and Fern can get on top of them. Amadou then takes down Axe, who is on the Zarya. Mushroom with the hook on to Morlock to take them down, and there's the first fight. This time it goes to Iliad Artemis. So they're the first team to start getting that bot push, as Axe now swaps over to the Orisa. Makoto on the Vendetta. Temper on to the Sojourn. Oh, close to getting that railgun. Perfect there. Amadou, though, taking down Axe. They do get the railgun headshot where they need it. Mardox takes down Makoto, who's trying to harass into the backline. Mushroom pushes up. Doesn't land a hook. Fern trades a kill onto Mardox. So that's a cheeky little exit frag there. Temper has to be careful. Amadou does finally take down Morlock as well. And there we go. Forward spawn unlocked for Iliad Artemis. Vivacity can have a long way to work back into this map here. It's Painkare on the Tracer. Harassing from the low ground. Here is the early overclock from Amadou. Finds Fern with a nice rotation. Makoto in that room pumps out some damage, but not enough. As Axe drops on the objective as well. Temper sliding in just to stall and force the kill. But so far, Iliad Artemis looking confident here on Esperanza. Trying to force a map 5. Amadou pummeling out the damage once again. 4 ults online for Artemis as more swaps from Vivacity. Temper back on the Bastion. Does take down Amadou though. Now the aggression from Fern finds Painkare. Axe collapsing and the rest of Vivacity able to get the kills that they need to open that fight up. Start getting bot back towards the center. Forward spawn online though means Iliad Artemis will be back in the fight quite shortly. And here we go. Once again, Amadou forced low but managed to be kept alive by the supports. Early Kitsune from Fern, matched by a beat from Floomfi, matched by a beat from Morlock, now matched by a Kitsune Rush from Marduk. So a lot of ults invested. Bastion ult from Temper to try and zone out on the high ground. Does find Amadou. Whole hog invested from Mushroom, but they get taken down as well. Temper finds Marduk. So in this ult chaos fight, it is Vivacity coming out on top. Painkare, the only survivor for Artemis on the Tracer, able to get out at that 1 HP. Hide away from Fern, who is trying to spot them out. That should mean Vivacity edging close to unlocking this forward spawn here. Painkare will be looking to get the touch and does deny. Now gets the bot, pushing back in their team's favor. Makoto dies to Mushroom. Axe takes down Amadou, but Vivacity need to get back and stop Painkare from stealing this bot. They did not unlock the forward spawn, so Makoto will have to come back the long way here, as Vivacity now locking it down around the objective. Grav onto I'm Mushroom with the Bastion damage, does take them down, but Painkare comes in the backline, takes down Fern, tries to go for the pulse bomb, doesn't get it. Temper takes down Mardox though, so both teams even in terms of no criticals online, as Temper and Axe trying to push bot. Makoto takes down Floomfi, now looks to try and aggress on to Amadou, who does manage to take them down. Morlock winning the duel against the Tracer of Painkare, while Axe and Temper did indeed take the objective. Beat and a Vendetta ult online now for Vivacity. Amadou though, with the overclock online, has proved effective with this ult in the series so far. Axe is low, forced out no. Amadou getting harassed. Beat engage from Makoto, matched by the overclock. Makoto does drop. Vivacity not quite able to push the bot far enough to get the aggression, and Morlock takes a bit of collateral damage there. I'm Mushroom just able to back out with their life as Amadou takes down Axe. Mushroom takes down Temper, and Fern finally drops. So Artemis just about able to deny Vivacity from pushing bot all the way to getting the aggression. Forward spawn able for everyone to come out from Vivacity, but now it is Artemis taking the aggression. Makoto with the ult takes down Mardox as the Kitsune Rush came out from Fern. Painkare forced to recall out of that fight as Makoto tries to harass Amadou. Amadou slides away to safety now as Artemis opt for the reset, and this time it's Vivacity denying the forward spawn, but everyone is still alive for This roster. Axe takes down 2. That's Painkiller and Mardox. Amadou does trade it onto Makoto, who had gone aggressive. Does then find Axe, who is trying to stay in. Mushroom did use the whole hog in that fight. Amadou sliding in, taking this duel against Temper. He was forced to back out with the help of both of their supports. Both teams just opting for a reset here. No forward spawn online for either team at the moment. 3 ults, though, available for Iliad Artemis. There's the first. The early Kitsune rush from Mardox allows the aggression onto Temper, who does drop very quickly. The re-engage comes out from Vivacity, but it's not enough. Amadou and the rest of the Artemis roster able to collapse onto them off the back of the ult from Mardox, and now still 3 ults and the forward spawn unlocked for Artemis, as Vivacity trying to find some way to survive. There's the grab. Beat match from Floomfy. Amadou with the overclock does take down Temper, and Axe has to deal with people in their backline, but Mushroom and Amadou take them down. Makoto finds the exit frag, but there's still 2 members of Artemis online, so they're going to be able to keep pushing the bot forward, and they do have the forward spawn for Painkiller and Floomfy to come back soon. Here is the ult from Temper, trying to zone out Mushroom. Forces them back, but doesn't really get any damage off of it. Vivacity now trying to take some space. Mardox off the map there. Axe with the bubbles used, but Mushroom takes them down. Fern does find Amadou, but not before Fern actually dies soon. Makoto, though, there we go. The Vendetta able to clean the fight up for Vivacity. That was a little bit scrappy here. And so now Vivacity finally able to push the bot back again, but not far enough to deny the forward spawn. Amadou, though, caught out on their own there. Mardox not investing anything to keep their Sojourn alive, and now the forward spawn denial comes out. Painkiller in the backline, though, is going to steal the bot, so Makoto and the rest of Vivacity forced back to try and deal with them. So now Vivacity finally able to start pushing the bot. Kitsune rush aggression in. Mushroom does have the whole hog online. Is low, but does keep themselves alive. Vivacity now able to get the forward spawn for themselves, but they flip the map here. Iliad Artemis now coming in. Makoto has their ult, looking down at that long angle here. Mushroom hides, manages to get back away. Beat engage now from Vivacity, and Temper with the ult is going to look to try and zone Artemis away. Is Vivacity still slowly pushing the bot ever closer? Heading into overtime now. Painkiller does have the post bomb online. Mushroom forced low, forced to back out. There's the post bomb. It doesn't stick. Vivacity able to push so close. Makoto gets a kill onto Amadou, who had just popped the overclock. Beat now used from Floomfy. Does find Morlock, but Makoto takes down Mardox. Vivacity so close here. Axe takes down Mushroom. There's no tank presence online. They just need to deal with Painkiller on the Tracer. Floomfy is back in this fight now. Grav online on point. Finally locks it down. And Floomfy not able to touch at the end there. And that means Vivacity take the map, take the series, take themselves to 4-1 on the season, pushing Iliad Artemis down to 1-2. Huge plays here. Well done, Vivacity. So we only needed 4 maps to decide it. 3-1 goes the series, and 4-1 goes Vivacity on the season. Huge plays. Well done, Vivacity. managing to get exactly what they needed out of the series. Some huge plays from everyone. I think Makoto, though, probably the MVP in this one on that Vendetta. Just absolutely popping off. Brilliantly played. So I will throw us over. I'm going to just check to see who is online. I believe, yeah, Jeff is indeed still online. So I'm gonna throw us over to a raid of Jeff, Mr. Bullskunk. Thank you everyone for joining us, but huge GGs. Well done to the Vivacity roster once again. I believe that does keep them in the ascendancy of the season so far. So brilliant play once more from everyone at Vivacity. Go head over to raid Bullskunk Jeff. Thank you everyone that joined us tonight, and remember to give us a follow on all of our socials if you want to see more incredible gameplay just like that from our flagship Vivacity roster.